Hey y'all, this is Curlinda with Curlinda Can Cook, and today we are going to be making us some homemade Salisbury steak. So let's get ready, let's get set, let's get cooking. So to get started with this dish, the first thing that we're going to do is we have right here, I'm only making a small batch of Salisbury steak today. So I have about a pound and a half of hamburger here in my bowl. To that, I just added a half a tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm also adding a half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I have a half an onion that I chopped up here, so we're going to go ahead and add that into our bowl also. And then we're going to add us a teaspoon of beef bouillon, and y'all know I always use the powdered bouillon. So we're going to add us a teaspoon of that. We're going to add us a teaspoon of New Orleans Cajun seasoning, a little bit of black pepper, and then we are going to add us a quarter teaspoon of salt. And we're going to take all this, y'all. We're going to mix it right on up together in our bowl. And we're going to get ready to fry this down and make us some homemade Salisbury steak. Alright, y'all. So we have all of our ingredients together in our bowl. And all I'm doing is just taking it and combining everything all together with my hand. Now, I only added onions to this. If you want to add some bell pepper, go right ahead. Y'all know me. I like my food flavorful, so I have a whole lot going on. You don't have to use the exact seasonings that I use. If you want to use a little something else, go right ahead. Sometimes when I make my homemade Salisbury steak, I'll go ahead and throw me some A1 steak sauce in it. Or I'll put like a little bit of barbecue sauce in it. All depending on what flavor that I'm going for. With these, even though I haven't done so already, I might go ahead and add me some A1 steak sauce. If I do, I will let you guys know. But again, that is totally optional. It's something that you can do. So now that we have everything all mixed up together, y'all can see that my hamburger is cold. Now that we have everything all mixed up together, we are going to get ready to pack these up so we can put them in our pan. And we already have our oil heating up. So we're going to take these and put these in our pan so that we can get them fried and ready to be Salisbury steaks. Alright, y'all, so here we go. We have our pan here on a medium-high heat. Our oil is all ready. What we're going to do, as you can see, I kind of got just a handful of hamburger. Probably about, I would say, maybe a tennis ball size. All I'm going to do is just take it and roll it in my hands like so and press it out. Just to give it a little shape, like so. And then all I'm going to do is just put it in my pan with my oil so that it can start cooking. Now, if you want to take this and you put it in a plate and do all of them first, you are more than welcome to do so, okay? But me, because I am going to do these kind of fast, I'm just going to take them and plop them down in the pan one at a time so that I'm not messing up another dish. Because y'all know what I say, don't nobody have time to be washing all them dishes now, okay? So, but all I'm doing is realistically taking about a tennis ball size, rolling it in my hand, and just pressing it out. You can make these as big as you want. You can make these as flat as you want. However, because it's hamburger, as it's cooking, it is going to shrink some. So I usually make mine kind of flat so that they will, once they do shrink some, they don't shrink up to be really, really small. Okay? So there again, all I'm doing is just pressing this down. Now these last two I made, these are going to be for my husband, so these were a little bigger. These were about a little over, they were almost a baseball size. Okay? So, we're going to just put these in the pan. And we're going to let them do what they do and cook. And we have us a half an onion here. We're going to go ahead and slice this up so we'll be able to put this half of this onion in our gravy. So once these get ready to turn, I'll be back. Listen, okay, disclaimer, y'all, I cook all the time, so it's okay with me doing this with my hand. But if you're doing this at home, Especially if you're new to cooking, please do this with a spatula. Also, you see me rolling this meat with my hands. You use a glove if you have to. If that grosses you out, use yourself some gloves, okay? But in the meantime, y'all, let's go ahead and let these cook. When it's time to flip them over, I'll be back and I'll show you. So I'm going to let these cook on this side for about a good 5 minutes before I turn them to the other side. Alright guys, so what I have done is I have gone ahead and I have flipped over my hamburger patties, making these Salisbury steaks. As you can see, they are not crispy like a hamburger. I am allowing them to fry slow so that they are not crispy on the outside. For what I desire, I don't want that crispy crunch like a hamburger. But if you're wanting more of a crust, then just go ahead and cook them at a higher temperature. Once you cook them at a higher temperature, they will have that more of a texture, like a fried texture on them. But I'm letting these cook slow because, you know, I don't want that. Also, I don't remember if I told y'all the last time, but I did go ahead and add a tablespoon of the A1 steak sauce into my mix before I put them in a pan. So alright guys, I'm going to let these go ahead and continue cooking. And then once they're done, we're going to take these out and we will begin to work on our next batch. Here we go, y'all. We're going to put our next batch into our pan. And all we're going to do is just pat these down. As you can see from the first batch, I poured off all of the excess oil. We do want them to cook, but we don't want them to boil, okay? And if I would not have poured off the excess oil, that's kind of what they've done, had like a boil effect, okay? So, again, we're going to just pretty much do the same thing. Go ahead, pat these down, put these in our pan, let these fry on one side for about a good 3 to 5 minutes, and then we will flip them over. So, I will see you guys when it's time to flip. Here we go, y'all. It's time to now move these out of the pan. And as you can see, we have cooked everything down to now we are back to oil again, because that's all we want is the fat. Okay? So y'all see that? This is what we're about to use to make our gravy. So the first thing we're going to do is dump our onion over in there. That's our half onion that we cut up. And let that go ahead and work its way around in that oil to start getting really nice and tender. And while we are working our onions, that's a half an onion. We also have a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour here. So we're going to stir our onions and our flour together and let them do their song and dance together so that we can brown our flour. Alright, so we're going to keep stirring these until our onions start to get translucent and the flour browns down to the color we want. Now, when it comes to making your gravy, you can make your gravy dark or you can make your gravy light, however you want it. That choice is totally yours. So, you know, with that, go ahead and let it do what it do. But right now, I'm going to let these onions get translucent, and then once they do, I will show you the next step. So now that we've gotten our onions translucent and we have browned our flour, we are going to go ahead and add in our water for our gravy, and we are going to stir. Okay. Now, at this part right here, you want to make sure that you get all your drippings and everything out of your corners from around the sides and all of that. Now, I also left my gravy light a little bit because I wanted to show y'all something, especially for our people who don't have patience, or if you don't want to stand there and let your gravy be really brown. You can add, once you get your flour cooked down, you can add a little bit of all-purpose browning seasoning to your gravy, and it will continue the browning process for you. It will get it browner. See how that turned it darker? Okay. And so therefore when you put that in there, you can get it as dark as you want it to be. Normally I do stand there and I will actually brown my flour to the color that I want it, but I wanted to be able to show you all that for people who are just very, very impatient. Okay, so now what we're going to do here, now that we have our onions and everything in here and our water, we're going to go ahead and we are going to add our seasonings. Now at this part, I'm not going to tell you any measurements because you're going to add your seasonings to taste, but I will tell you what I'm putting in it. Into my gravy, I'm putting in some salt, throwing in a little bit of accent. Now the thing about gravy with accent wakes up food flavor, and then gravy, y'all, I'm going to tell you something. That saves you from having to put a whole lot of other stuff in there, okay? Because the accent flavors it very, very well. That I just put in was some Italian seasoning. I'm just throwing in a little bit of paprika, a little bit of black pepper, like so. And then just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to add just a little bit of beef bouillon. And I'm going to give this a good stir. And y'all can see as it's coming to a boil, our gravy is starting to thicken. Now, if you want a thinner gravy, if it gets too thick for you as it's cooking, just go ahead and add you a little more water and thin it right back down. Other than that, if you want you some thick 40-weight gravy, that is just what this is going to give you. So now that I got all of these stirred in, I'm going to go ahead and take my spoon and taste my gravy to make sure it's where I want it to be. And that tastes really, really good. So I'm not going to add anything else. But what I am going to do at this time is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my meat back in my pot like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a lid on this, turn it to a medium flame, and let it simmer down so that that gravy will coat our Salisbury steaks very, very well. And honey, it will be time for us to plate up so that we can eat up. So there you go, guys. That's how you make homemade Salisbury steak. And all I'm doing now is just throwing some gravy on the top of the meat. So once I put my lid on it, everything can steam just quite right nice. Get a nice good coating on it. Them onions on top of that rice. Baby, y'all already know what time it is. So, yes indeed, honey. There we go. We're going to put our lid on it and we're going to let this simmer down for about a good 15 minutes. Alright, y'all. So it has been 15 minutes. Let us just go ahead and take this lid off and y'all see what we have. Them onions, boy. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all see what we got going on here. Some nice, juicy, tender, homemade Salisbury steak. Guys, I hope you try this recipe. If you have not already done so, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel. Turn on your notification bell so that you won't miss anything that we post on our channel. Be sure to share this video with a friend, a family member, a co-worker, anybody who you think would like to impress somebody by making a delicious dish. Honey, but now it is time for us to go ahead and do what? Y'all already know. Plate up so we can eat up. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.